Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my go-to everyday makeup. So yeah, stay tuned. So as you can see, I've already done my eyebrows off camera. I have moisturized my skin, I've applied my SPF to my face, my neck, and my hands because you don't want to age. So yeah, in today's video, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation and concealer. I hope this is my shade. I'm gonna take a pump of this, although I'm not gonna use the whole pump. I know that by now. I've tried this. It wasn't my shade when I tried it, because it is winter, and I matched it to my summer shade, because I am silly. So yeah, let's get into it. But I mean, I have tanned since I've worn this last, so let's hope it matches. It isn't full coverage. It's like medium, and it is buildable. It's very runny. And from the back of your hand, just for like an FYI. But I do love the finish of this foundation, and I don't like a super full coverage foundation. I mean, I don't mind because I share my foundation out anyway. I like my foundation to be more of a tint than like where the coverage comes from. I prefer my coverage to come from my concealer, and I'll spot conceal and then obviously conceal under my eyes because sis needs it. But I'll catch up with you guys when I am done with my foundation. Okay, so I am pretty much done with my foundation. I'm going to move on to concealer. So I used half a pump. I'm going to remember that for next time. On camera, this looks ever so slightly more olivey and yellowy on my skin, but in person it is a perfect match. So it is interesting that the lighting is working like that on camera, but I'm just dragging it down my neck. So next I'm going to do concealer. I'm just dragging this down my neck because it doesn't look even on camera, but it, well, not even, but the same tone on camera, although it is in person. As you can tell, this foundation is very like natural. It has a very natural finish. It's skin-like. It's beautiful. I'm obsessed. Oh, and a little FYI. My foundation shade is 125 Natural Rose in the foundation, which is weird because this is not a pink undertone. And when I matched it, I literally took my foundation, like my go-to, with Revolution, which is shade F8, which is a pinky undertone, so that doesn't really match me perfectly. This does in summer. Using the concealer, the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. This is so full coverage. I wish I was joking. I'm going in with 328 Biscuit. That's the concealer shade. Now, this isn't thick, but it isn't runny, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to show you how I apply it. Just the teeniest bit on the, like right there, and like next to nothing. Like I need a bit more there. Now to blend it out. The coverage is insane. And now you probably need, oh, but you didn't do like your upper, like your lids. I know. I blend the concealer onto it because it's just that full coverage. And now this concealer is pretty similar to my foundation shade. I normally go lighter, but I decided not to when I bought this in store. I was like, you know what, let's do something we don't do and get something that's pretty much the same shade. Like it's ever so slightly like a hair lighter, but the coverage is insane. Like I tried to blend it out as much as I can, so it's not as full coverage because my foundation is very light. Now the other eye. It's just like, do that in case it's creased yet. Doubtful, but like, you never know. Like look at that coverage. It's not a joke. And now I feel like this has got more coverage on this side. Maybe it's my imagination, maybe it's not. Okay, that's pretty much even. And now I bake my under eyes. Sorry if you cringe, I mean, under eyes crease. And baking tends to help that for me. So yeah. Just taking my Revolution setting powder in translucent. I do have the Maybelline Lasting Fix setting powder. It's very fine, whereas the Revolution one is also very fine, but like the Revolution one works better under my eyes. Now I'm just going to set where I'm going to bronze, contour, blush and highlight. Well, I'm probably not going to contour, so this is my everyday makeup, something very natural. I'm just going in with a Maybelline Lasting Fix setting powder, also in translucent. I don't want powder with coverage at the moment. Like I've got pressed setting powder, but that's like foundation shades. It's just at the moment I'm liking this your skin but better look. Okay, for bronzer and blush, I'm going to be taking the Revolution and Rachel Leary palette. Sorry, I can't speak anymore. This has got beautiful shades, personally. So I just took the plastic protector out because I've had this for a while, I still left it in. I'm going to be taking this shade because I can honestly not bother trying to pronounce it. And if I'm going to contour, I'm going to use a bit of Indulge. Now I'm just going to go in with the Real Techniques brush, which is a multitasking cheek brush from them, in case you were wondering. I'm going to take a bit of that first shade I just spoke about, tap off the excess, and just slightly on the cheekbone, but also slightly under, just take a bit of that shade. As you can see, they're extremely pigmented because I tapped off a lot. Moving on to the other side. Now I'm doing this very subtly because I do tend for my bronzer to be soft and subtle. Says that when he looks like he's bloody shape-shifting. Okay, so I am just blending the bronzer because I don't want there to be any harsh line. Anyway, taking that shade, might as well warm up the forehead and temple a bit, right? For blush, I'm going to be taking Rosé in the palette, this beautiful pink coral shade. She's very pigmented. This is pigmented, but very pretty. Like, look at that. I tap it off and press it in my hand because in my day-to-day I don't wear a lot of blush. It's only when I do like heavy makeup that I like everything on, because obviously it's heavy makeup. And I use my blush placement to help shape my face. My bronzer normally goes slightly further down, but today I decided no, it's fine, we don't need to, because it's going to be like just gently, softly sculpting. And my blush normally goes here, all the way up here like this, if that makes sense, because it pulls the face up. Random tip, I guess. Now for nose contouring slash bronzing slash whatever you want to call it. I'm actually going to go in with a different palette, which is lighter, hopefully. Yes. This one from Revolution, it is the Ultra Sculpt and Contour Kit in Ultra Fair CO1. I think that's 0, not O. Sorry. Orcs. And I'm going to take there's obviously 3 shades. The first one is bronzer, highlighter, and blush. It is very, very sparkly, which I like to be a topper on blush, to like help merge into your highlighter. Taking that on a brush and just doing my nose. As you can tell, I just like do my own thing. That looks crazy on camera, but in person, not really. I don't like a crazy nose contour on me. I've tried it, it's just not my journey. That's your journey. Pop off. And I'll just take it into the front of my eyebrows. And I'll just blend it down, and then I'll blend it up when I'm done blending down. Just trying to make it look as effortless as possible. Then upward. And after that, I'll take my beauty blender and blend. And apparently there was a bit of setting powder on it still, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. My nose looks different in person. On camera, not so much, except for this one spot right here for some reason. There we go. Well, that's pretty much my face. When I'm done with bronzer and blush, I was gonna carve, but since it's natural, I feel like that's a bit extreme. Okay, now to brush away the bake. The scary part. No, I'm joking, it's not the scary part. Oop, that was my eye. Give me a second. Okay. Now my eye wants to water, that's fun for me. See? Full coverage. Why do I keep brushing my eye? It's not on your eye, Kadin. It's really not. Oh my word, my eye's gonna water. Oh, we don't want that, because like, it's gonna ruin all the work we've just done. Okay, as you can see, I just brushed away the bake, and it's very pretty. I'm gonna take any of that excess powder and set my lids, which I probably should have done when I was busy setting my face, but for some reason I did not think. And now for eyeshadow, I'm gonna take that bronzer shade and blush shade in my crease and blend it together. Now for the blush, I start with that on a packer brush and tap off the excess because I really don't want a lot. Now my eye shapes are kind of different, but I mean, it's nothing new for me, unfortunately. As you can tell, there's a slight difference in color. I don't want a big difference, just enough to look like I've tried and done something, but not enough to say you spent like 3 hours doing eyeshadow, didn't you? But I think we've all had those days, or maybe that's just me, I don't know. I mean, obviously the more time you spend on eyeshadow, the better it'll be. And I'm yet again rambling. Now I'm just matching the other side. I'm going to blend it with that bronzer shade. Okay, now that they've both got a bit of blush on as eyeshadow, I'm going to take that bronzer shade on the brush, pack it off, same brush. I mean, why not? They're going to be washed anyway. Why dirty even more? And I'm just going to take that on the edges and diffuse that gently. Not really making a big fuss of it because, I mean, it's not a big deal. That's pretty much the finished look. I'll just blend it further, obviously. But I mean, this is my go-to everyday eyeshadow for when I'm trying to look like I did put in a lot of effort, because it kind of is a lot, but not all the effort in the world. And as you can tell, I've got hooded eyes. But I mean, my eye shape changes so often. Like sometimes this one has like no space between the crease and the lash line. This one, sometimes like this has a lot of space or no space. It's honestly my like worst nightmare. That's pretty much the eyeshadow done. Looking more seamless. My eyebrows look intense compared to everything else. But you know what? We keep moving. Right? Right. And now going in with Soph's highlighter palette with Revolution. These don't have names, do they? No. Okay. This shade, and a hint of this purple shade, just to give it a more icy look. Because I like it when my skin's also icy. But what I actually wanted to do before this was take a different Revolution highlighter. This has been loved. Like, me from 2 years ago, use this religiously. This is Revolution's Vivid Peach Lights Baked Highlighter. And the shade is Peach Lots, by the way. And now, this is beautiful, but it's very glittery. It's also very reflective, but that's because of the glitter. And I'm tapping the excess off because I just want this to help my blush merge with my highlight. And I don't want a lot of highlight today. It's kind of cold, but the sun's out. It makes no sense, the weather, what is going on, but I guess that's winter for you. Or at least here where I stay. You can't even see anything. Actually, you can kind of. It's almost like sweat. Sure. Let's put that down. And now going in with Soph's highlighter palette, her first one, because she came out with a new collection, which looks beautiful, but it's not available here yet, so I'm crying inside. No, I really don't want a lot of highlighters, so I'm not going to do this highlighter palette justice on how blinding and beautiful it is. Now to my nose. The highlighter brush is for my nose is dirty, so I'm going to have to use this. I'm going to cry because how? Now how I'll place my highlighter is here, right there, and just on the tip of my nose. And then tap off the excess and lightly connect it. So it's like next to nothing there, but there's still something, if that makes sense. For mascara, I'm going to be going in with the Wet n Wild 3-in-1 mascara, this one. This is a prep and lock, and number 2 is a fiber. I don't want the fiber, but I'm going to use this to like just coat them. And then my favorite mascara, which is L'Oreal's Lash Paradise. Almost hit myself in the head. I love this. It smells to die for. I don't know. I don't like fragrance in makeup or skincare, but it's your eyelashes. So does it really matter that much? I hope not. The only problem with the Lash Paradise mascara, FYI, if you want to buy it, is it gets cold. When it's cold, it thickens, and a lot, because the formula is already quite thick. So I like put it between my legs and heat it up. Just a little bit. Now I don't want to go too crazy with my lashes because they are quite long, if I do say so myself. Like that's not even doing a lot. Like as you can tell, I'm just like lightly doing this, like barely putting any effort in. My eye wants to water, so if it looks like I'm about to cry, I'm so sorry. Now you're probably wondering why I use this one before the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and that's because like in winter, as I said, it gets thick and dries up. So in case it doesn't do a good job, I've got this. You do this just barely enough so it's like good enough to go out. So if that one doesn't do anything, it's got this. Whereas in summer I'll probably either only use that one or another mascara that I really love, which is pretty much the exact same in formula and wand and everything. Yet like change between them, I don't know. Now this mascara can get clumpy and thick quite fast. I'm going to try not to let that happen, although it kind of looks like it already has on camera. When in person it already looks quite thin and flirty and flattery. Like look at this side. Oh, it lifts a lot. This mascara is the ultimate, and you can layer it to be divine. I mean, look at this side to this side. Obviously I've got a bit there, but I mean it kind of looks like a beauty spot. So I'm going to leave it. It's pretty, it's flattering. If I have any breakouts or anything that are really bad, I might go in with a brown eyeliner and go over them. I've seen people do that. I have never tried it and I kind of want to. Okay, that's the mascara done. Obviously it's looking clumpy, the house done boots, but you know what, we keep moving. Oh, the highlighter is so flattering because it's like soft. Now I'm just going to do lip liner and lip gloss. This lip liner is by Estee Lauder in 08 Spice. That's the shade name. And the lip gloss is from Revlon. It's old, it's rubbed off. She's been loved. That's my favorite lip gloss ever. And I should get another one. Anyway, time to do my lips. Anyway, that's my lips done. Moving on to gloss. I don't need a lot because I've got lip balm on or lip ice or, you know. I know it's an old applicator, don't cringe. I love it. And for some reason, I've got lip gloss under my lip now. It's still there, but anyway, I'm gonna pretend like it's not. This is the finished makeup. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe and leave a nice message in the comment section below.